Alright, this is Jimmy's Home Cooking. I'm going to start off by showing you how to properly cut your potato for home fried potatoes. Alright, cut them all uniform. Also, you want to keep your fingers out of the way so you don't cut your fingers. Keep them away from the blade. Alright, you can look now, they're all uniform. Uniform just means they're all the same width, same length, and put those aside for later. Alright, we're going to move on to our ribs. So you want to section those off in single sections, because ultimately we're going to be making oven baked barbecue ribs. This is one of my favorite dishes, by the way. You should always have fun while you're cooking too. Alright, we're going to move on to our next step, which is submerging our ribs in water, because it is a three-step process. So you want to boil your ribs, you're going to submerge them in water, and I'll walk you through the rest of the steps during the process. Alright, we're going to break them on over to the stove now. So I've been letting these sit here for about 15 minutes. You want to boil them off real good. Alright, now those potatoes we cut earlier, we're going to throw them in the pan. So these are going to be home fried potatoes, so you want to get a good golden brown crisp look when they're all said and done. And you'll see that at the end of the video as well. Alright, spread those out evenly so they get evenly cooked. And cover your ribs. So I'll leave them in there for additional 5 minutes, just to get a good boil on them. And here's how they look afterwards. Now that they're boiled evenly, you're going to move on to your next step, which is your spices. I got some black pepper. I'm not too heavy-handed with the black pepper. Just a little bit of salt. I don't use much salt in my cooking. Now you got some garlic and herb. And your allspice. Use a good amount of allspice. And you have your mesquite barbecue sauce, which is my favorite. You never want to lack on your spices. Problem with food a lot of the times is that it's too bland. You want to have your flavors popping. Alright. Lower your heat down just a little bit. You don't want to overcook them. Now as you can see and you look, they have a golden brown color. That's what you're looking for. That's what you're aiming for. And you're going to take those out and put them aside in a bowl for later, because you're going to be using those in your plating. Alright. Turn off your heat. Now we're going to move on to our sauce. You're going to do the same principle that you did with the water. You're going to submerge it. Okay? This is the second process in your oven-baked barbecue ribs. You can use any kind of barbecue sauce that you like. You can make it from scratch. You can use store-bought barbecue sauce. It is completely up to you. Remember, this is easy home cooking. Alright. Make sure everything gets a fair amount of barbecue sauce on it before you cover it up. Alright. Alright, go ahead and cover those bad boys up now. We're going to leave them in there for about 45 minutes to an hour. And voila. That's how your ribs should look. Okay, the reason I leave them in there so long is so that way they tenderize. You don't want to have chewy ribs. And I left them in there for an additional 30 minutes. There you go. Now here's a close-up. Alright, now your ribs are pretty much done being cooked in the sauce. You're going to put them in your pan. And remember, your next step, and this is a 3-step process, is going to be baking. Once you've done this recipe a few times, it'll become second nature. And remember, have confidence in yourself, and you can do anything. There you go. So I have preset my oven to 350 degrees. Now the ribs are ready to go in the oven for 20 minutes. Remember not to overcook, so you set your timer. Okay? There you go. Well, 20 minutes has passed. I'm ready to take them out. And let's see how those ribs look. Oh yeah. Now that's what you're looking for. And we're going to bring them over to plating. Let's get a closer look at these ribs and see how they came out. That looks amazing. Alright, this is going to be your plating. What you want to do is you want to take your time, just so that way you get everything just right. And have fun doing this. This is the fun part. Plating and presentation is the funnest part of your cooking. I like to take the last one and have a little bone on it, so that way it kind of pops on your plate. And people eat with their eyes. So you got to remember to make it look good. That looks good. And here's your corn on the cob. Those are their home fried potatoes we cooked earlier. Now I'm going to go ahead and put that mesquite barbecue seasoning. Use a good amount. And there you have it. Oven baked barbecue ribs with fried potatoes and corn on the cob. Voila.